On everybody, what's up to my people over here on YouTube, and what's up to my people over here also on X? What's up, Ray? I see you up in the spot early on. What's up? I see Nightfall over there on YouTube as well too. So shout out to everybody coming in, man. We're gonna be going it in tonight. Got three topics we want to cover tonight. We're going to talk about the Latinos looking for help from Black people in regards to the border issue and the deportation. We also want to speak on John Leguizamo and his constant, I don't know, his constant, I don't know, cosplaying of Black culture, and also HR 40. That's kind of come back a little bit. You got Ayanna Presley. She's trying to lead the charge and trying to pick up where Sheila Jackson Lee left. Of course, everybody knows it's a study, but once again, that is back in the conversation. So I felt that tonight would be a good night as any to go ahead and talk about these topics. Our people, they'll be coming in here shortly. What's up, Ray? I see you up here as well too. So definitely, I know you probably got the family with you in hand, but feel free to come on up here and speak as well too. We're gonna wait till a few more people roll up in here and get this thing really, really going on. So shout out to all my people that support the platform. Y'all make sure y'all visit newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news in Black America. Make sure you visit newstoter.com to get your daily dose of Black news, education, lifestyle, culture, celebrity news, sports. The entire gambit is over there at newstoter.com. So definitely make sure you guys go ahead and stay up to date on what's going on. Nightfall says, why is John Leguizamo constantly trying to cosplay? Dude ain't even Mexican. He's Colombian. I don't know. I don't know why he's constantly, even in the article that the people talking about him saying that, the Crip Walk or whatever is supposed to be Mexican culture or whatever, or whatever. They refer to him as being a Mexican in that. So I don't know why. Like, yeah, he was lying for years about being one thing. And then, like you say, Nightfall, he's Colombian or whatever. I always thought growing up he was Puerto Rican. I guess he played different roles. What was that? Summer Sam, he was playing a Puerto Rican on there or whatever. So, I thought for the longest he was just a Puerto Rican cat. So I don't know. This guy comes with this whole crazy madness talking about Juan Crow, and he's talking about all this the stuff with Latinos being the oldest ethnic group in America. Just ridiculous stuff that he comes up with. I don't know if he's just looking for attention or whatever, their role in the civil rights and all this other stuff. And I think maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but was Henry Louis Gates giving him a platform? Was Gates giving him also a platform to say some of this craziness and some of this madness that he's been saying lately as well too? I guess, his acting has gone down. He doesn't get the roles that he once got. He sees the actual progress that the grassroots is actually making, and he feels like, hey, let me go ahead and shoehorn in here. Let me kind of get my name up in here as well, too. We got to talk about this HR 40 thing as well, too. We got to talk about it. And I know people saying, well, you guys have been mighty quiet since the Republicans took office. You're not holding the same accountability when it comes to reparations that you held for the Democratic Party. And that's not true. Like, we never stopped talking about reparations and stuff. People got to remember that Trump is just not getting in the office as well, too. So, the reparation talk is going to continue to ramp up. Nobody's going to tap dance because Trump is in office and Elon Musk is putting a battery in his back or whatever. We know exactly how the Republican Party feels about reparations. They feel the same way as the Democrats. They're just bolder about it. And yeah, you have more Black people in the Democratic Party, so they may say more things about it as well, too. So we're going to touch up on that and all of this stuff, all of these TikTok videos, nonstop. The TikTok videos going crazy where you see these Latinos on there. You got Latino women, Hispanic women on there crying, talking about how Black people have just neglected them and this and that or whatever. In some of these videos, they try to start off and be sincere, talking about, everything they've done for the country and also what they've done for Black people as well, too. And, and talk about, well, nobody's got our backs and it doesn't matter because, we're the hardest working group of people in the country and this and that. And I'm like, well, who told you that? Who told you that you were the hardest working group of people in this country? Because that's your opinion. I mean, people forget that once a lot of these groups, the vast majority of these groups migrated to America, this was already a first-rate country. This was no struggling, fledgling country when they came over here. This country was already top shelf when a lot of these groups came over here. So let's not act like you just made America what it is today. Extreme X says he's another racist Hispanic. They just give him a pass. Nightfall says, why are they trying to resurrect that dead Stalin tactic of HR 40? They just had 4 years to do HR 40, but they didn't. Extreme X says, what have they done for black people? Yeah, I mean, here's a thing, and both of you guys are on point. Getting to Nightfall, what he's saying, the whole time they was in office or whatever, Kamala Harris and them, they weren't mentioning reparations or this and that or whatever. And first off, nobody gives a damn about a study. This thing has been around since 1989 or something like that. You talk about a study. Man, we done studied enough here. We know exactly the tolls and impact that slavery's had in this country right here. There's nothing really to study. I mean, the economics, the only thing you should be studying is how much money should be divvied out. The actual economic amount and everything else like that, the impact that black people made. You can sit up here and talk about cotton and tobacco, you picking that and all this agriculture stuff as well too. But no, my friend, a lot of manufacturing, a lot of things came from black people, labor in general. So yeah, we're gonna hit the whole gambit tonight on this thing right here. Nightfall says they were too busy pushing Israel, LGBT, Ukraine, and illegals. Yeah, that's a big reason why they lost the election as well too. He's talking about the Democrats when they had chances to actually put this thing into play. Now they want to talk about the HR 40. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna touch up on that real quick as well too. DJ and Professor and the rest of these guys, they'll probably be coming up in here tonight as well too when they get a shot. Original, hopefully we'll see them. But I want to go ahead and get this thing cranking, guys. Y'all on YouTube, leave some comments so I can read them to the audience, and same thing from the people on X over here as well too. If you don't want to speak, leave some comments in the comment section, guys, and I will go ahead and I will get to it as well. Ayanna Presley, this is from the Neo Jim Crow, one of our curation partners. Ayanna Presley to reintroduce. Okay, I see DJ coming up in here. Let me go ahead and we got Professor up in. That's what I'm talking about. Both of the co-hosts popping up in here. So let me go ahead and get to the fellas. Go ahead and send y'all the co-host invites. What's up, Professor? I see you up in the spot as well too. So what's up, DJ? I think DJ, he was having some issues, so he may have dropped. Is he? It said he accepted the co-host from what I can see. What's up, Professor? Can you hear me? Professor DJ, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on tonight, Professor?
I can't. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I ain't want the phone to echo from the TV because we on the YouTube. Shout out to the Screw Tooth fam. Let's go.
What's up? And y'all came in the nick of time because we're going to touch up on this HR 40 thing. And we just been talking about what we're going to be discussing tonight. Of course, we're talking about all these Latinos looking for black help now with deportation. Before, y'all didn't know our names, but now all of a sudden we like your long lost cousin. We got, we're talking about the HR 40 legislation that they're trying to do to study crap again. Once again, Nightfall wants to know why y'all bringing this up now after 4 years. And we're going to talk about also one of your favorite actors, John Leguizamo, however you pronounce his name. I don't know. I don't care. But John has been running his mouth for the past year or two, like just constantly. Whenever something comes up and he considers it black or black people getting too much attention, whatever, here he comes to shoehorn himself in there to talk about this, talk about that. He's already made false claims that they're the oldest ethnic group in America, went through one Crow, not a Crip Walk. I just wanted people to know I'm not endorsing the Crip Walk. I understand where the Crip Walk comes from or whatever. But now they're talking about that. That was part of Chicano culture and all this other nonsense as well, too. So, Professor DJ, y'all want to say something real quick before before I touch up on, because I only got one article I'm going to touch up on tonight. But y'all want to get it in real quick?
Well, you go ahead, DJ. You go ahead. Yeah, you got it if you want to speak. I'm just saying, John Leguizamo, who's a fake Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? He lying, just like Fat Joe, his cousin. You know what I'm saying? They some lying, fake Ricans. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know why he even saying that. Knowing damn well that's a lot. Same thing when they be saying I don't like the whole analogy how they just people just giving them credit for the whole lowrider analogy. I didn't create that. Black Americans was fixing cars up in California well before anyone knew who y'all was. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we do in this country, it pertains or goes back to black people. There is no Latino experience of anything in America. It's either black or white, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? You make the choice, and you're neither or. You know what I'm saying? But want to identify or cosplay as. So this is just part of our erasure. They're trying to erase us. Stay on point. It's Black History Month. Stay mad. Y'all month at the end of the year when nobody really care about it or care to know. You know what I'm saying? But, the other thing is I got a problem with John Leguizamo is the folks that I'm actually cool with. But this is why I always say this ain't these other folks' battles. So always we want to know why a lot of my Latino friends don't be saying anything to these Fat Joe jokers. I don't see you posting online like, yo, Fat Joe, you lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you need to be quiet. You causing division and whoopty-whoopty-whoop. You know what I'm saying? You messing it up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't saying nothing. So they goes to let you know who is and is on accord with the Negroes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just say that again. Who is and isn't on accord with the Negroes. This is why I beat Dolos with the flow lows. You know what I'm saying? I got some bars too. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I got some bars and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Chicago Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Or black. You know what I mean? But yeah, get his butt up out of here. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to see that documentary he did, talk about the, Latinos did just that and the third for the country. And he put it in like a documentary type play. None of this stuff makes sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I've aced history class grade after grade after grade. You know what I'm saying? We good with the history over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no textbooks no more. I just know it in my head. I don't remember studying anything Hispanic Latino ever in school, like ever, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I've been living in Essex County my whole life where there are Hispanic and Latinos. Y'all live amongst our neighborhoods. You don't even go to the white folks' neighborhoods. See what I'm saying? Same thing with you. Like, okay, since I'm going in, Latinos looking for blacks to help. No, Bobby, you know black. That's what you said. You know what I'm saying? You said you know black, Bobby. You know what I'm saying? So what else supposed to do? What else I'm supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do now? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing I can do, Reba. It's over, B. Send me a postcard. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing when you was here. You know what I'm saying? You got that money. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you saved it and wasn't at the Club 21. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't that lit. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't that club. Hold up. I know how to do that stuff, man. I'm trying to tell you, y'all be saucing and be, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's over with, B. We ain't helping y'all. This ain't a George Floyd knee on the neck fight. Eric Garner getting choked out. There ain't none of that. And then when it do happen to y'all don't even got the courage to grab your cojones and say, hey, yo, we about to burn this piece down. They killed Juan, bro. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. It's on tape. Look, they choked him out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even got to do that. Because you can't. This ain't your country. So it's like, what are y'all supposed to do other than be mad, voice your opinion online, you know what I'm saying, explain to black people and then turn around and say, won't y'all help us at the same time? You know what I'm saying? That's why we not helping y'all. You feel me? It's over. I don't know what to say, Primo. Yang, you got to go too. Y'all been selling us a lot of dog meat, you know what I'm saying? They eating the cats, they eating the dogs, total, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Y'all got to go, man. Y'all ain't got no respect for us. Y'all ended affirmative action, even though it wasn't for us, then turn around, got discriminated against by the same white joker that's been discriminated against us. And we tried to tell y'all forever, hey, look, Asian homie, might want to come over here, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be all cordial, but hey, look, we got a neutral enemy, a common enemy. Y'all said, nah, me no black either. You know what I'm saying? I'm white. So, hey, take your plight, get on a flight, you know what I'm saying, and land back in communist-ass China, you know what I'm saying? CCP, and deal with the terrorism over there, yo. Because y'all got a whole nother country to go back to. What the hell you over here waving your flag for? Oh, I want to fight now. Let's pull up for the Kumite. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all really disrespected. Then you out here burning American flags, Mexicano? Oh, I know you lying. That's why the American beat y'all and took this land from y'all. It's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it bad enough that you already over here? You want to disrespect the flag and all this other stuff created by a black woman. Happy Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Look this stuff up, big. Y'all ain't got no hands in me, Casa. Y'all got to go. You know what I'm saying? It's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I see you next lifetime. Wanna stay around? I see you next lifetime. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sing it the Latino way, Professor. You know what I mean? They don't know nothing about that version. Gotta get the bells and the hand claps up in there. You know what I'm saying? Primo, know what I mean? So just let me get this last thing in. So HR 40, Ayanna Presley up here looking like the black Lex Luthor. Somebody said in the comments last night. The black Lex Luthor, yo, is coming for us. She is the villain of Negroes, yo. Don't listen to her, black people. You know what I'm saying? Put your Superman cape on, your super nacky cape, and dodge them talking points, because she lying to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Look, first it was John Collins who had the right intentions to bring reparations to us. And I'm going to bring this up too, because it is already said and done at this point, because it needs to be brought up, in my opinion. I think they set our brother John Collins up to have a rape allegation, or all word. Can't say that either nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You misgendering me and all this other stuff. All word allegations on him. And Jimbo James Jingle Clobburn might have had sufficient evidence to clear brother Conyers. You know what I'm saying? And you already know the reason why they did this, because HR 40 came up, and you owe now and all this other stuff. Now we can get rid of you. Can't really do nothing, you owe. That's the game, you know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to Conyers, you know what I'm saying? So we can still deal with Jimbo Jangles, you know what I mean? So basically, it got out of the hands of Conyers, wound up going to a tether, Sheila Jackson Lee. She out of here. Rest in peace, you know what I mean? The representative that was from my neighborhood over in Newark, Payne Jr., shout out to your dad. He did his thing for Newark, Brook City in the building. You did okay too, not bad, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace though. You told me the only way we're going to get reparations is through HR 40. Neither one of y'all are here. What's up with that shit now? Y'all don't even have nothing to show for you. Excuse my French, but it's real, big. You know what I'm saying? These elected Democratic officials have been playing black people for a very long time. And yes, the Republicans, for all y'all Democratic shills out there that's upset that Kamala lost, the Republicans don't do anything for us either. But the Democrats don't, the Democrats, the Dixiecrats, we can't vote for them for the next 1,000 years, if not ever. It's over. I let my plane.
All right, Professor, you wanna add something?
Be playing.
Yeah, I would ask. Jesus. So family, what's up tonight? Glad to see the Newstoter family here. And when I said the Newstoter family, you know who I'm talking about. We got Black State right there. You see the brother that be kicking that knowledge about the black majority states. We got our sister Trouble right there, brother Ray Smith right there. Yeah, Trouble in the house. Just Case, I see you down there. Shout out to you. And to all of the other black American family up in here, shout out to you. Much love to you. And of course to my brother Tola, who brings us the largest curated news. Black owned now. Let's make sure we recognize it. Black American owned.
Let's go black.
That's right. Let's make noise, Black America. Let's make sure we say that. Now, let me say this, family. If you look in the Jumbotron right now, as we're in this space, NYPD is out there arresting these people that's having these so-called anti-protests against the ICE agents coming and picking up these so-called criminals, right? Okay. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm enjoying just sit back watching the video, because that would be the same thing that would be happening to us when we are out there protesting. They'll be putting us in handcuffs and throwing us up in those vans and everything else, taking us off to jail. So they out there right now taking these people home. And guess what? A lot of them that's out there probably illegal. And so now you get deported up out of here because you need to be up out of here. You have come into this country like this guy, John Leguizamo, that keeps lying, trying to take ownership of what Black America has produced and have invented and what we have done to build up this country. He wants to take credit along with some of these other ones like Fat Joe that keep running their mouth and lying and putting misinformation out there that they know is not good information. It's lies. And you got some folks out here that's going to believe it, but you can also bet your bottom that it's under the guards of white supremacy because they also are working along with these people, excuse me, to make sure that we are moved out of the way. Because these people don't want us to have anything in this country. They don't want us to have our reparation. They don't want us to have credit for anything. This is a land that our ancestors helped to build up. And we are here to fight for everything that belongs to us, and we are going to gatekeep everything. That includes our music, clothing, fashion, whatever we created for science, whatever we created for the medical profession, whatever we created for the law, whatever we created, it belongs to us. So I want to say to anybody that sits up in these spaces that are Latino or the others that's listening to this John Leguizamo and believing this crap or spreading this crap, you are going to find out that you can be deported. You can be silenced. And what I mean by that is you can be discredited because we can bring out all of the information that'll tell you what we have done in this country. We have feet to the ground in this nation. And we can go and show you everything we have done. We have proof of all of that. So when you come up in these spaces and you tell your lies and you spread misinformation, we will silence you with knowledge and education. That's what we can do to you. Okay? And hopefully we can call ICE to have you deported for telling your lies while we at it. Get you out of here. Now, going back to Ayanna Presley, right? Okay, this, and I don't mean to make fun of her head, okay? But God, dog, her head, I tell you. But anyway.
Next, time to get loud.
What to say, man? She would call me an honest. Oh my God. And that was one of my favorite black vagina farmers, you know what I'm saying? Ayanna Presley supposedly has taken over the lead for the HR 40 bill, right? Same bill that was introduced earlier, in 2021. Speaking of what they call a proposal for reparations, a commission to study reparations. Now, why do we need a commission to study reparations for what has happened in this country? We know the history of slavery, right? We know the history of Jim Crow. We know the history of black codes. We know the history of everything that's happened to our black American freedmen family. So why do they keep coming with this study for reparations? Why? So here we are again. They introducing this at a time when they know the Republicans control everything. Now you have to wonder about this, ladies and gents. What is up with this? They know the Republicans are not going to try to push this. So you bring this up now when you know they control everything and everything is hostile towards reparation when it comes to the Republicans. You had a long time ago, Democrats, to introduce something for black Americans regarding reparations. When you had control of both houses, you had the opportunity to do it. And why didn't you do that at that time? Because you really don't want to help us to get what belongs to us. You're trying to help others. You're pushing immigrants. Our Congressional Black Caucus that's supposed to be for us is helping to push immigrants. And so therefore we know that Ayanna Presley is not really trying to help us. What she's trying to do is find a way to get us back in the good graces so they can have our votes, and then they can continue on pushing the immigrants and keep helping the immigrants. But no, we're not going to fall for that. And we are not here to help you with the immigrants. We're not here to help anybody else. We have to be here to look out for our own people. So we are not going to fall for this, Ayanna Presley, and you and these other so-called black faces that's up there trying to push this. You're lying to us. This is a joke. So I say to you, the Latinos are not going to get our help. We are not here to help you. You don't deserve our help. And a long time ago, when one of our famous leaders tried to reach out to others for help, all of you turned that leader down. Well, hell, you turned down all our leaders. Just tell it like it is, because we have reached out across the aisle to have others to come in to help us fight this system, and they didn't want to do it. And therefore, we say to you, Latinos, and even these other blacks that want to pretend to be us, we are not here to help you. We are here to take care of ourselves and help to enlighten our people. So we are no longer going to be out there trying to cape for other groups. And I'm going to land right there. Total thank you, man, and shout out to everybody in space.
Real talk. Appreciate that. Thank you, DJ and Professor. Y'all were going in. Shout out to everybody in the room. I see Trouble. I see Black Majority State. Of course, I see Viral. There's a bunch of you in here already. Holler at. We're going to go ahead real quick. I'm going to touch up on this article from the Neo Jim Crow, one of our curation partners. It's titled, Ayanna Presley to reintroduce legislation that would bring reparations to Black Americans. DJ, I got you after I finish this. The Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African American Act was first introduced by Representative John Connors in 1989. Repeatedly introduced since then, the bill moved out of the committee for the first time in April. As its new lead sponsor in the House, Presley takes over from former Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, who worked with Connors to push H.R. 40 from her first year in Congress in 1995 until her death in July from cancer. It is an honor to inherit the privilege of carrying this bill forward, Presley said in a press conference Wednesday. She promised Lee that she would keep working on our priorities and never give up. The bill, unchanged by Presley in its reintroduction, would create a federal commission that would investigate the impacts of slavery and provide concrete proposals for reparations. The commission must gather documentation and evidence of slavery in the U.S., study the role federal and state governments played in supporting slavery, analyze the laws and policies against freed slaves and their descendants, and recommend ways for the U.S. to recognize and remedy these effects through reparations. Reparations are a necessary step towards achieving justice, said Presley, who added that we are still very much in the civil rights movement. This is a pragmatic policy that is fundamentally about repairing harm and building a more just America, she said. Presley called the current political climate a moment of anti-blackness on steroids. President Donald Trump issued an executive order last month banning DEI programs and policies in federal agencies, leading other companies and universities to follow suit by changing their own policies, including Harvard and Northeastern. Donald Trump and his co-president, Elon Musk, and their enablers in Congress and the courts are working overtime to strip away our rights, Presley said. She announced the bill alongside Lee's daughter, Erica Lee Carter, who ran in a special election and completed her mother's term in Congress from November 2024 to January 2025. She described H.R. 40 as Lee's passion project. We are nothing without a record and official documentation. You cannot right wrongs without an accurate record of those wrongs. This is what America needs, Carter said at the conference. H.R. 40 is long overdue and even more necessary under this administration. Presley was also supported by Reps Bonnie Watson Coleman, Summer Lee, Jonathan Jackson, Latifah Simon, and Yvette Clarke, all of whom spoke to the importance of co-sponsor Senator Cory Booker introducing the bill Senate equivalent. Boston counts black wealth at just $8, Presley said, compared to the wealth of white households at $247,500. Nationwide, the wealth gap, which Presley cited as evidence of slavery's continued impact on Black America, is over $10 trillion. H.R. 40 aims to change that. From Jim Crow to redlining to mass incarceration, our government, through policies and budgets, has perpetuated and entrenched these harms for generations. The disparities that we see in health outcomes, housing, education, wealth, and more are designed, Presley said. It's not only about Black history, it's also about Black futures. So that article, once again, was from the Neo Jim Crow, one of our curation partners. DJ, go ahead. You got it. Anybody else? Hopefully I hear from my girl Trouble. I know she might be driving. I hope to hear from my girl Jess Cakes as well. I hope to hear from Ray. I hope to hear from Black Majority State, Viral. All you guys definitely come in and chime in. Guys, make sure you go ahead and retweet out the space as well, too. Let everybody know that we're live. Give us a retweet. And hopefully we can hear from a number of you guys tonight. This is we're hitting on 3 topics. We're talking about Latinos looking for Black help in the face of deportation. We're talking about HR 40, which I just read, and DJ and Professor, they commented on it some as well, too. And we're talking about actor John Leguizamo, who continues to lie. He goes from everything to talking about replacing Jim Crow with Juan Crow. He talks about being the oldest ethnic group in this country. He talks all of this crazy stuff, stuff that like Professor said, we can easily debunk it. We can actually look into the actual record books and history books and see what you're saying is not accurate, nor is it true. But hey, he's not going to stop. He has a platform. People want to hear it. And anything it is, you got kind of chip away at Black culture, Black history. He's been doing it. So he is like the equivalent almost to a certain degree of what's his name? The rapper Fat Joe. Matter of fact, before I get to you, DJ, let me read this real quick too. This was it was an article I pulled up that they talked a little bit about what he was saying. John Leguizamo about they were even talking about like the Crip Walk or whatever, that being a part of I guess Chicano heritage or whatever, that they actually were the ones who invented it or came up with it as well too. I'll come back to that actually. Go ahead, DJ, and then I'll come back to that. But you got it.
Actually, speak on that because that was my next thing. Go ahead real quick. I don't know if you got the article ready.
Yeah, I got to see if I can. Okay, let me see. I got it. This is from a website called Sportskeeda. It says, where did the Crip Walk originate from? John Leguizamo claims sparks criticism amid Serena Williams Super Bowl performance backlash. Now, just to let everybody know, I'm not up here, saying that the Crip Walk is a great positivity in Black culture, anything like that as well, too. I'm just letting people know that when she did do it, and people act like the Super Bowl was the first time Serena did it, but Serena Williams did it at the U.S. Open or Wimbledon as well, too. I want to say the U.S. Open because that's a little bit more relaxed than the actual Wimbledon. So it's not the first time that she did it. In this article, they're calling him Mexican. It says Mexican actor John Leguizamo is currently facing backlash after he took to his Instagram account on February 10th and talked about Crip Walk, which began in Los Angeles, California, as per BBC February 10th report. He claimed that the dance was invented by not African Americans, but by Mexicans. In a caption of the Instagram video, he wrote, Crip Walk comes from the Chicano culture, but Black people made it funkier and national. Leguizamo's comments came after Serena Williams' Crip Walk at the Super Bowl performance when Kendrick Lamar performed Not Like Us. She surprised everyone by her performance. However, shortly after that, she drew a backlash. Let me see. The reason is that Not Like Us is a diss track directed at Drake, whom Serena Williams previously dated. As per U.S. Weekly's February 11th report, Serena received a lot of applause, but other people were offended by her performance. Meanwhile, Leguizamo's comment of origin of the dance form drew backlash, as well as people took to X, and you had Art of Dialogue February 12th post to react to the same. Some said that he is allegedly delusional, while others said he allegedly always compares his culture with Black people. Laugh out loud. Some of the comments says laugh out loud. They started the Crip Walk. Wouldn't it be the Serena Walk then? Another person said he was delusional. Somebody also commented, said him and Gina Rodriguez take it very personal when black issues are discussed. Somebody else says why they love comparing themselves to black coaches, stated another one jokingly. On the other hand, many tried to reason with this comment. As one said, it was founded by Colombian, but it was founded by Colombia. So I don't know where they came at, but that it was actually founded by Colombia. So yeah, and the article was pretty long. Let me see. Is there anything else worth mentioning, worthwhile in this article? Because I know they're talking about the relationship with Serena Williams and Drake, and they was talking about whatever beef or whatever. And it's pretty much the gist of it. I just wanted to go ahead and speak on it. I look like I might be in the Matrix. Can y'all hear me? Because I think I might be in the Matrix now. Hold on, because it's like I was stuck in the Matrix. Give me 1 second. Okay. Because I'm trying to mute my mic, but it's like it's stuck. Give me 1 second. I don't know. Can you hear me, DJ?
I can hear you. DJ, you should be able to hear you.
Yeah, it's stuck. I see Black raising this. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, it just went on and it was mentioning other stuff as well too. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic. Y'all go ahead and get it in. If it lets me mute the mic.
Go ahead, Black Majority, real quick. You got it. I'll talk about it. What's up, Burgess?
Burgess, you there? Black, which one of you guys want to like I said, because I keeps trying to put me in the Matrix. I see we got
all in one and can come back up, bro.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got a couple. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Put your phone. I got it real quick. Hey, Black Majority, we know you at work or whatever. Just come on when you can. Hey,
I'm here. I'm here.
You got it. Go ahead. What's up, bro? Social in the building.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, DJ, Professor, Newstoter, speakers up here, JG Burris. I'm not sure who the Spanish person is, but shout out to everybody in the space. I came up for the HR 40, but I did do a search on here. We're saying there's a black man named Henry, and they got it in quotes, Crip. Let me see, get his last name right. Henry Hurd. Crip is his middle name, but they got it in quotes. He was an amputee, and he was a performer, and they're giving him credit for that. So I, as you guys were talking, I said, what the normal pattern is, someone will pull up, images or videos of one of our people dancing from the past, and then they'll, kind of attach to that. So I think people have done that on this situation. So I don't know if people want to do double, extra, triple research to follow that timeline, but I wouldn't believe anybody who says that anything that Black Americans created came from anywhere other than God, because we are naturally intuitive, we are natural psychics, and we have this divine connection and to creation. So a lot of these inventions, creations, whatever they are, they're just coming from God, and it's a natural ability and talent that we express. So that's where I would put it at. But HR 40, yeah, they're trying it. they're trying it, and it's so blatantly apparent that they're trying it immediately after an election. They're attaching it to DEI, which is really, I think, the real intent and purpose of it is to expand HR 40 to include a lot of these other, so quote-unquote minority groups, LGBTQ, disabled, white women, etc. And they always say women. It's interesting, if you listen to that whole 45-minute news conference, press conference, they always slide in women there as if white women are not the largest demographic group in the country, and that inherently they'll dominate anything that has women attached to it. So it's just this racist, liberal, white feminist ideology that they keep regurgitating over and over again. But I would suggest that Black America, and shout out to ADOS Foundation. I think they're the ones that have been trying to put together legislation on their own. There is no, when I first got on Twitter, it seemed like people had this belief that you only had one chance to do reparations anywhere, federal level, state level, city, whatever, yada, yada, yada. That doesn't match up with reality, because every single bill that gets passed has had some other iteration of it when it didn't get passed. And so the life of a bill is that it goes through the process. Sometimes it gets enough votes to be taken to the floor or whatever the process is. Sometimes it doesn't. And then they just hold on to that information. They rewrite it, they remix it, and then they present it later. That's what the Democrats and Republicans have been doing my entire life. So there's no reason that you couldn't have a competing bill that was sponsored by either another Democrat, which is unlikely, or a Republican, which is also unlikely. But figure out a way to get another bill out there and get it in the attention of the media, get it in some newspapers, create oppositional action that people can read through that sounds way better than what they're doing. Make it very clear to the person who's in charge right now, that's President Elon and his Vice President Trump, and go in that direction so that it's very clear that Black American grassroots reject H.R. 40, and we have our own bill that is specifically for Black Americans. It has a price tag attached to it. Shout out to everybody who's working on this, including Brother Lloyd and others who also have been working on some type of way to push this thing forward. That's what I would do. I wouldn't give these people too much attention. I think Ayana is also in the Caribbean caucus, if I remember correctly. A lot of those people are. They are Narcan and Cobra agents. They're attached at the hip with those people. So it's all negative for us if they get something through. But here's the other part of it. If they did get something through, which would be insanely, I mean, that would be insane. If they got this thing through, Trump signed it, we would still benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. It's just that all these other people would benefit too. And whether or not that's a good or bad thing, I'll leave other people to, deal with that. But we just had a Black woman whose 2 children died in a car because they were homeless and they kept reaching out to facilities for homeless people.
Yeah, I posted that earlier today too.
And 2 small Black American children died because they didn't have access to anything.
Yeah, I posted that earlier today too.
So while we are arguing back and forth about all of these things, and we could be talking about years, unfortunately, there are people who are really suffering and losing their lives in the process. So for me, as a migrationist, I want it to be over as quickly as possible. I don't think you need a study. I think Trump and Elon are about dollars and cents. And I think you can talk to them about dollars and cents and just get the dollars and cents on the table and skip the BS. And I'll land with that.
Thank you, Black. Appreciate that. So we got JG, we got Spanish. I think Spanish Dominican. We got you next. I see my girl Trouble up here. So Trouble, hopefully we'll hear from her tonight. She's up there chilling right now. JG, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right. Thanks for the space and instruction. And respect to everybody in the room on the stage and just listening. I came up to talk specifically about HR 40 and what you read. As you read the article about, what was said as far as the anti-Black administration or however they're telling Trump to be. And so that alone makes me question why would they even submit something in this climate, whereas when they had the opportunity to submit it, they didn't. And so I just see, further division, or the Democrats in a way of trying to save face, so that if it gets struck down, then it's going to be blamed on racism. But more importantly, I'd say that we don't need a study. She would have did better writing the bill to acknowledge and give an apology. I said this last night. California did a 1,100-page report that includes what the federal government did. So there's no need really for a study at all. An apology would have been better, and it's just disingenuous, and it's a slap in the face it's a slap in the face to the foundation, to the foundation that built this country and those descendants of the people who are here. And so, really not buying it, and it just needs to die, because I think the last thing any of us want is another 2 years to let the government corrupt some more money, similar to what happened in California with certain people, as far as doing a study. So you're going to spend all this money on a study, lining pockets when we don't need one. So that's all, man. I appreciate the space. I just wanted to make that statement.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming up here, JG. And matter of fact, I think what you were saying earlier, Black Polo Styles on YouTube said it also. Yeah, the Crip walk did come from a guy with a crippled leg, with one leg or whatever. He couldn't remember his name, but he was saying pretty much the same thing that you were saying as well too. Let me go ahead and get to Spanish Dominican. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up now?
Hey, listen, as a Latino person, I don't think we're looking for black help. I don't know who this John Leguizamo guy is. I don't know who he is, but we're not looking for black help, dude. We're not doing that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Spanish Dominican. There's a number of articles out. There's a number of videos out, YouTube, TikTok, where you got Latino women, Hispanic women, talking about, how they've always stood with black people and black people aren't helping them and this and that or whatever. So you personally may not be looking for it, but a bunch of people who are Latinos and Hispanics, they're making videos. There's articles. There's an attempt to actually kind of, people trying to put the emphasis on black people to go out there, because here's the thing. Whenever there's been any social justice achieved in this country, generally it's been black people leading the way. So people say, hey, you know what? These people do have cachet and they do have clout when it comes to that. So yeah, hey, listen, it's no skin off our back in here. If you guys aren't looking for, that we cool with it, we fine with it. Like, hey, we're like this right here. We
progressive Latinos, there are different kind of breed though. They've been brainwashed by the progressives into thinking that way. But are fresh off the plane Latino, they don't think that way though.
Well, hey, like I say, it's no skin off our back, and we agree with you. I mean, you're right. You don't need our help, and I personally don't think we should give it either. So that's my 2 cents. So hey, I'm like this right here. Everything that we got in this country, we had to get it on our own, and you guys can do the same. So I have no issue, and hopefully, whatever happens, it happens or whatever. But I have no issue. I'm not sitting up here. I'm not championing it or anything like that as well too. And hopefully, maybe you talk to some of your people and say, hey guys, show some pride. Stop asking them for help or whatever, and just let us, be a man, be a woman, and we handle it ourselves, because hey, we pretty much, the civil rights and stuff like that, we paved the way for everybody in this country. So, we more than did our part, even though the civil rights was exclusively supposed to be for us and everybody else benefited from it. It was something that's supposed to be for us. So, hey, I'm in agreement with you, and speak to your people, talk to your people, tell them like, hey, don't bother anybody, whatever. And let me get your perspective on this with the deportation. Are you a first generation immigrant? Were you I mean, exactly what's what?
Yeah, I'm first generation. Yeah.
So how do you feel about the deport? Where are your people from?
My family's from the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so you're from the Dominican Republic. Okay, that's right, because you are.
When it comes to deportation, we're the kings of it. We're deporting Haitians by the truckload.
Okay, but how do you feel about your people that may be deported from over here?
Deport them. If they're here illegally, they got to be deported. They got to follow the country's laws. They can't just come in here unannounced. They can't come here with no permission. They got to follow the law. Everybody in Latin America, we expect the same thing too. So we can't hold a double standard. If you come to the U.S., you got to follow the law as well. It can't be a double standard.
Well, I definitely agree with you on that. If you come illegally in the country or whatever, hey, what do you feel about the birthright citizenship that Trump is trying to overturn as well too?
That's fine. He can overturn it. That's fine. If I can afford it, I'll make it anywhere. I'm good.
Okay.
Just let your friends know that the Black American ice unit is here.
Hold on.
Yeah, just let them know the Black American ice unit is here.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Well, no problem.
What state you at?
Say again.
What state and city you at?
New Jersey.
Oh hell no.
No, okay. So you're in Jersey.
Yeah, we got a unit up there for you. We'll come pick you up and get you out of here. Just let us know when you're ready to come home.
I'm good. That's fine. I speak English. I could go anywhere around the world. Get a good job anywhere. Just going English. That's fine.
That's okay. Sing the national anthem. Sing the national anthem.
Hey, I mean, shout out to him. I mean, he at least he's somebody saying, hey, if push comes to shove, if I get deported, as a man, I'll stand up and I'll go back home. So, I can respect that as a man, from one man to another. I can respect that. I can respect also that you say, hey, I want to be independent and we don't need any help from you guys as well too. So, hey, you'll find no argument from me. I can't speak for anybody else in this space, but as the host, you'll get no argument from me on that. And I just hope that more and more people, be it Latino, Hispanics, or whoever, Asians, whatever, feel the same way. When it comes, you're right. Like I could, if I went to Dominican Republic and I came in there legally, they would have no problem deporting me. I would not get any. I wouldn't get any free health care, free food, free shelter, nothing like that right there. So I can respect that as a man. So I definitely respect what you're saying, and I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be disrespectful to you. I can respect that, and like I say, I hope more and more people feel that way as well too. So shout out to you. Let me go ahead and get to some other speakers. Let me go ahead and get to my girl Trouble. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello? Oh, snap.
What's up, Trouble?
Yeah. Who would you like to speak to, sister?
Customer service, can I speak to a human, please?
That's Charles Restaurant. Ching, what would you like to order?
Shrimp fried rice and some 12-piece chicken cut wings.
We got Springfield, Ohio, sister. We only eat that cat in the door, sister.
Hey, Black family, how y'all doing?
What's up, Trouble?
Y'all, shout out to everybody in the space. I'm not going to call names. There's too many good people up in here to be naming y'all one by one. So shout out to everybody. Thanks for pulling up. Latinos looking for Black help. I'm glad the Spanish Dominican person said that they're not looking for our help because, as Toter pointed out, they don't deserve our help. Nobody does, and it's not a shot against Spanish people. It's a shot against all immigrants, regardless of where you come from, regardless of the tonality of your skin complexion. I say that because, as it's been pointed out by Professor and DJ WPI, shout out earlier, we've been there already. We've extended hands over a period of time just to have our hands slapped by everybody that we extended our hand to, or our hand that we reached out was accepted only for you to stab us in that hand once you were giving the help that you were seeking. So now is the time for everybody to stand on their own feet, hold your nuts real good and properly, what I'm saying, keep them in place, so they jiggle jangling all over the space, do your own thing. And as far as you all saying that you don't ask for Black help, that's a lie. When you say that it's only the ones who, you're fresh off the boats and it's only the liberal ones, that's a whitewashed talking point, and I can tell that you kind of been around a lot of white supremacists who gave you that talking point. You can keep it and shove it where the sun don't shine, because I live in a community where a lot of fresh off the boats have came through, And if you all are not helping, asking for black help, then stop running up to my truck asking me for change. Stop running at me how hungry. Stop running up to my, what you need to do for your children, because baby, I got 4 of my own. Okay? So I'm going to do for my people, and you all do for your own people. Who you should be asking for help from is the governments in which you fled from. Ask your people for help so that you can stay in your own homeland, so you don't have to ask black people for help. You don't have to ask anybody for help. Ask those white supremacists that you also love when you get here for the help that you need. So, no, you don't need to ask us for help. There's a lot of other people you could ask for help. Ask the other immigrants who are coming here for help, because you all are in the same boat. Hopefully you get back in that boat and go back where you came from. But if you choose not to, that's your business. I can care less, because I've got black business to focus on, not focusing on you. So that's all I have to say about that. HR 40, I'm kind of tired of the whole HR 40 conversation, and I'm tired of these so-called blackish Democrats. And I say ish because you're blackish Democrats. Now, you got spanked in the last election, and you're going to get spanked in 2028 and beyond, because it's not even so. It's a culmination of the things that you say, your language that you're using when you're talking about reparation, that sort of makes it sound like it's a for all, black-facing people, and that's not what reparations is for. It is for the Negroes of this land. It's not for anybody else. So their language that they're always using in these press conferences, don't come talk to us now. We've been trying to get your attention on reparations for a long time. So it's your body language as you're standing there talking about it, the smirking faces, the way that you're looking down and not looking directly at the camera. See, I was taught that when you're talking to a person and you're genuine about what you're saying, you look them in your eyes. And you all are doing a press conference and you can't even look directly into the camera because it's so laughable, and you know it's laughable. So black Americans are tired of the grift coming from everybody. And what we have is a bunch of non-black Americans who are black-facing that assume that they can speak for us and put a number on something. You starting at $10 trillion is already treasonous, because it's way more than $10 trillion. So stop trying to put a dollar sign on something and in the same breath saying that you need to do a study, because if you actually did a damn study, your study would tell you that 10 trillion is the bare bottom, bare minimum. So let's not start at the bare minimum, because any fool know that when you negotiate, you go high, and you let them come down to the number that you really want. So you starting at 10 trillion? Nah, I'm gonna need y'all to get spanked and get on out of the way. John Luigi, I'm gonna just call the fool Luigi because I ain't trying to say his whole name. First of all, this fool is Mario. This fool is Colombian. His dad outed him on that. He's not even Mexican.
Or Puerto Rican.
My child trying to call me, so I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. So he's not even a Mexican. You're Colombian, and you've been a lying liar for a long time. And what lying liars do is they lie out of their lying lie holes constantly. So nothing he says should be taken seriously. I posted the video in the Jumbotron of the man that Black spoke on, Henry Crip Hurd. He was a double amputee dancer who was popular in the 40s and 50s. When he started off doing his dance, they originally called it the Crip Hop, and later it was turned into the Crip Walk. So I really wish that John Luigi and Eva Longoria, would stop trying to take things that are specifically for, and Fat Lord, stop trying to take things that we specifically brought to the table and make it something that belongs to them. When Mexicans were on this land, it wasn't even America's land. So you are not the original ethnic group of this land. You're not. You're not. You're not. You fought to be included as white folks. That's what you fought for. You didn't fight for anything else or for anybody else. You didn't even fight for your own people. So I'm going to land my plane right there. You all have a good night. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, Miss Trouble, for coming on up here. What was that now? I'm sorry.
Get yourself in trouble, B. I'm trying to tell you, Pop.
No, she's saying that now we're begging her for money and everything.
Be very careful.
I went to the liquor store and the black man was out. If we're going to play the generalizing game, I was at the liquor store today and the black man was asking me for money. So, stop asking me for money.
You in our country. You a first hitter. You a first immigrant. You in our country. He wasn't begging you. He was asking you for what was owed. You owe that man reparations for even being your ass over here. So you should have gave him what he was asking for, plus a little bit extra. Okay?
Yeah, the Black American Ice Unit is coming your way.
All right, let me go ahead and get to my girl. Shout out to my girl Trouble too. I know she said she good night, but hopefully she stick around. Though she gotta see what's up with the kids and whatnot as well too, mother, wife, all of that. But Trouble get a chance to come back up and definitely come back up. I knew you was gonna come up and say some stuff too. Let me go ahead and I see my girl Stephanie down there and her other profile as well too, going fishing. So shout out to Miss Stephanie as well. Let me get to my other girl here, Miss Jess Cakes. Let me get to Jess Cakes.
Hey y'all, what's going on?
What's going on, Jess Cakes?
Everything's all good. She threw it back with the Luigi. I forgot all about that. I got a question from
in the chat too. Look at the information in the chat.
For the Dominican anchor baby. In the DR, do they let people ship their kids out and make them citizens over there? So can Haitians come over there?
Actually, we changed the constitution to say that Haitians who are born of illegal parents are not Dominicans.
Oh, okay. So like if we kept that same energy, then you would be scared for ICE too, right?
No, I won't be scared. No, go ahead. I'll be able to make it anywhere around the world.
Yeah, but everywhere but home, right? Because if home was so good and so carefree, you'll be home, right?
I mean, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice where I was born. That's the problem.
Well, your parents wouldn't have to flee their homeland.
They were actually really wealthy in DR. I don't even know why they left. I don't even know why they left in the first place. I don't know why they left in the first place. I don't really know.
Why? Sure you don't. So they were very wealthy in the DR. The famous line, they were so wealthy, they had so much money, but they decided to ship you out over here in America. I'm sorry, Newstoter, I'm sorry, but that's what they decided to do. That don't even sound right. It don't even sound right. But at any rate, I'll get into it. As far as HR 40 is concerned and stuff like that, when it comes to these Democrats putting on the show, that's all they're gonna do is put on the show. And it's insult non-intelligence to even think that they could pull this move after we are well aware of their tricks. The fact that the Black Lex Luthor about to put that out there to Trump, who they've been warning us that he's the big bad boogeyman. It just further shows that they have absolutely nothing planned for us. And it's to the point that I can't see myself. Let me just say this, because it even feels weird talking in front of the ops. Like, seriously, it does. Like, I'm having a hard time getting.
But not only that, Just Cakes, not to cut you off, but Spanish, I see you just, the Spanish Dominican King just retweeted Latinos coming to this space and tell them how it really is. So by all means, come on into this space and tell us how it really is. I invite you all to come up in here and tell us how it really is. Please come right up in the lion's den and tell us how it is.
Yeah, they're gonna tell us how they was all wealthy and everything else, and nobody was poor. They just came here just to come here, and that's that. We don't believe you definitely need more people, and we don't believe them people neither. You know exactly why they came. Y'all was one of those Dominicans over there, probably shitting in the. Sorry, Newstoter. I don't know if I could do it. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could do it. I thought I could.
Take your time, breathe.
No. I'm just saying because they always coming over here with they stories of, oh, you know, no, we were so wealthy and we was this and we was that. Nobody, according to these illegals that come up over here and these anchor babies, according to them, all of them came over here thriving and everything else. Either they came over here thriving or they came here with $2 in their pocket and they made something out of nothing. And that's why they so much better than black people. That's the you're gonna get one or two stories and that's what it is. None of them say how they snuck under the fence. We had millions of people sneak through the freaking border. Nobody sit here and say how they overstayed their visas. None of them say that. Nobody say how they committed marriage fraud and immigration fraud. You don't hear those stories from these people. All they are divisive users. If stuff was so amazing in their country, they will still be in their country. The real wealthy people of their country is still there. They're not in America. They don't need to come here. And before I disrespect Newstoter space, I'm going to just go to the listener because I'll wait for these. I'm going to wait for the real smoke because I'm for it. I'm with everything.
Yeah. This corner, we got the no black.
That's Spanish, and I'm gonna get to you, Stephanie. Well, matter of fact, let me get to you, Stephanie, because you hadn't had a chance to speak. Go ahead, Stephanie. How you doing tonight, sweetie?
How you doing, DJ? I want to hear what he has to say.
Okay. Spanish, go ahead, and then she'll go after you.
I mean, to me, it just sounds like you guys just don't like being out-competed by immigrants who just got here. You know, that's the game of capitalism. You know, they come here, they open up shop, they start hiring people, they become entrepreneurs, and you don't like the competition. You know, just face it. You know, it's competition, and you know, that's what it really is.
Okay, so exactly. I just want to know because Black Americans have over 50,000 patents and inventions in this country. Black Americans are actually the part of the fabric of this country. Exactly what have you guys contributed to this country that Black Americans haven't? Because before you respond, the most grueling and the hardest work that the people ever did in this country came from Black Americans. I mean, I know you don't have as many universities and colleges as we have. I know you haven't created as many landmarks and townships and cities. And I mean, so exactly, you know, I mean, what exactly have you guys done? You got a group of people who don't even have most people look at Black Americans and say, you know what, these people don't even have their own homeland, yet they're globally known. You know, people from all over the world copy them and imitate them and everything else as well too. So exactly what have you done? And if we want to be honest, if we want to be perfectly honest, and I know that they're going through it on that island, and I know that the poorest people in this hemisphere, but actually Haitians have a larger historical impact in the world than you guys have. So what exactly has the Dominicans accomplished that Black Americans haven't accomplished? What have you guys done to make us jealous of you? I mean, exactly, how are you guys more successful than us? Name any Dominicans that are more globally known than Black Americans. I mean, take the biggest Dominican in this country and compare them to the biggest Black American in this country, and let's see if it's even a competition. So exactly tell us what you're doing, because in terms of the hard work and this and that, you guys were the ones that came crying to come over here. So exactly tell us exactly what are you guys doing that we couldn't do and we haven't done much better than you anyways. Because if you take your GDP from the Dominican Republic and you compare it to the GDP or you know, just to the total income or whatever you want to say that Black Americans have, you know, we swamp you guys. So exactly what have you done in this country that we say, oh God, please, the Dominicans, they so hard working, this and that. And let's be perfectly honest as well too. If you guys want to suck it on the teat of Europe, you would have been fell off, you know. So I mean, they boosted you guys up to make the Haitians look bad over there as well too. So just tell me exactly what have you guys done, because you can laugh, but we know the Haitians used to wear y'all out as well too, and y'all went running to your pappies over there, your Spanish pappies. So tell us exactly What have you guys done that makes us jealous of you guys, or that we're so scared to compete in this and that or whatever? Because, like I said, all of the civil rights in this country came from one group. It didn't come from Asians. It didn't come from white people. It didn't come from Arabs. It sure as hell didn't come from Latinos or Hispanics. So tell us exactly, guys, what have you done? Because everybody's benefited that come over this country, and I don't give a damn if you're a white European coming from, you're a white immigrant coming over here to America. Everybody, from the white man to the white woman to the Arab to you name it, have all benefited off the struggle of Black America. So what exactly have you guys done that we would be afraid of you, scared of you, jealous of you? Because like I said, y'all got to make little discriminatory laws and stuff to try to keep them Haitians off of y'all over there. So tell us exactly what's what. I know you're not Black, Poppy, so go ahead and speak it to us. Go.
Well, I know that a lot of FBAs, they love to go to Dominican restaurants. They love mofongo. They love, the rice and beans. They love the food.
About food, really? Food.
They love the culture too. They go to Dominican
We ain't talking about no tacos.
Dude, y'all listen to our music. Y'all wear our fashion. Y'all get y'all haircuts. The ones that got a little Negro. Black people don't listen. Black people don't listen to Dominican music. But everybody. Let's let this guy, because I want to hear. Let him go. Let him go. I'm sorry. I'm not letting anybody cut you off. Go ahead. No, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Go.
Boston or Connecticut or New Jersey, New York area. You go to the bodega. You say, "Hey, Bob, they sell me a Lucy." They sell you a Lucy.
Puerto Rico. That's not Dominicano, Papi. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Ricans started the bodegas up in the Northeast, Papi. Keep it real, Primo. Keep it real, Primo. You lie, Primo.
But the issue is that what you guys are complaining about is, let me be real with you guys. Keep it real. In 1965, you convinced Congress to reform immigration and convince them to accept more brown people from Latin America because you thought that they were going to be an ally.
Hey, let him finish speaking. Let him finish speaking.
Being an ally, so now you're trying to do a 180 and say no. Let's not accept these people here because they're not being an ally to the FBA. They're not being an ally, and that's what it really is, though. That's what it really is. And unfortunately, people come to this country and they don't agree. They become an ally to the FBAs because they just don't agree with the politics. They don't agree with the culture.
They don't like Black people.
Some of them
they don't like dark people. Keep it real. Keep it real. They don't like Black melanated people.
Hey, let him finish talking. Let him finish.
And assimilate to FBA culture. But I didn't do that. I didn't assimilate to FBA culture. But yeah, that's what it really comes down to. It's just you guys accepted these people into the country in 1965 because you thought they were going to be an ally, but they weren't. They're not really an ally, though. They're not.
Well, first off, like I said, if we're talking about historically between let's just take your group in consideration. Your group has never been an ally to anybody with melanin in their skin. We see how you guys are moving on that island over there with the Haitians and stuff. When they was whooping, the Haitians whooped France and put it on Spain as well too and stuff like that. So we know exactly now in terms of us looking for allies in 1965, Black people say, hey, you know what? We're struggling in this country, and we see other groups struggling as well too. So it was just within our nature, I guess you could say you could take kindness for weakness, but it was just in our nature saying, hey, you know what? Let these people come over here and let them get a better life as well too. Let everybody that's in this country actually experience the American dream. So I guess on that part, what you're saying, I mean, it may have a little validity to it or whatever, but you're right. As time goes on, people see people true intentions, and we see that you guys actually, especially Dominicans, but not just Dominicans, a lot of Latinos in general, you guys see yourselves as an offset of white as well too. And you were jealous of Black people. You saying, you know what? Why are these people? Because you saw white people and then you saw Black people just underneath them. You said, well, damn, we want to get closer to white folks. We want to be right underneath them. What does it take for us to do to get right underneath them or whatever? So you guys, you did what you normally do, which is backstabbing or whatever. So in terms, we never leashed off your culture. When y'all came to America, y'all came to the Black neighborhood. So you wouldn't stand out there in Beverly Hills. You wouldn't stand next to white folks. So everything that you guys got in terms of culture and influence and everything like that, you looked at us and you say, well, damn, when you came over in the 1960s, it was a Black and white nation. Nobody thought about you guys. So you say, hey, how can we get a little bit of shine as well too? How can we come up? And you say, you know what, we can come up by, first off, being anti-black, but at the same time copying these people and their style and their culture and everything else like that. Eventually, hold on, don't cut me off. Eventually, you say, well, we can pass this off. That's kind of what you got with what you got with the actual hip hop and everything as well too, because you got a lot of Latinos now claiming that they invented this and they invented that or whatever. But as far as going to a Dominican restaurant, I'll be honest with you. I'm here in Florida too, and we got a lot of we're more Puerto Ricans and Cubans and stuff like that. I ain't never been to a Dominican restaurant in my lifetime. I'm just being honest with you. I've never been, and it's Dominicans here. I've never been to a Dominican restaurant. I don't consider Latin food on par with soul food. I'm from the deep South. I'm just being real with you. Your culture in this country, like I said before, and you couldn't refute anything I said. Black Americans have done more, built more, and did more than any group that came in from the 1960s, any immigrant group that you want to name from the 1960s. I don't give a damn if they label you the model minority and all this other nonsense or whatever. You can't compete with the historical things that we've accomplished in this country, and you can't even compete with us globally either. And we're a nationless people. So if you just want to be real about that, there's no competition between us. So you're right. You had Martin Luther King and a number of other black people say, you know what, we see people downtrodden. That's why Dr. King in the 60s was talking about doing the poor people's campaign and all that kind of stuff as well too. But here's the thing. You've always had a number of black people that were against immigration because they knew immigration was something that was not going to be beneficial to black Americans. You always had that. Dr. King's wife even was against immigration and stuff because she knew the impact that it would have on black Americans. So not only that, but let's be honest here too. The government gives you guys boosts. The government gives you guys interest-free loans and grants and stuff like that. The government allows a lot of these minority groups to come over here and put businesses and everything else in the black neighborhoods because they want to see them rise to the top. They know you have no fight in you. They know that you're not going to be resistant. They know you can't do anything. They know you're just happy to be here. You're bowing and scraping and you're doing everything else. They want to empower you, not so that you can take over their position, but just so that you can be over the Negroes and you can create more of a distance between them. So that's the thing. They're not inferior to you. They your governments are totally beholden to them, and they know that y'all really have no fight inside of you. Because let's be for real, when you see demonstrations and protests in this country, when you see things, I'm talking about things that take off, that become national and global and everything else, that other countries, other people from around the world, they imitate and they copy. They see the struggles. They see it from black people. People don't come over and say, damn, you know what? We want to emulate the struggle of what the Latinos and Hispanics went through in America because that really, that really encouraged us to be better. And this, like, no, people don't even, when they look at the American struggle, they don't even talk about the Revolutionary War between the U.S. and Great Britain. When they think about overcoming all odds in America, they look at one group of people and one group of people only. And guess what, Jack? It's not your folks. Does that make sense to you?
No black, Newstoter, no black.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get to my girl. Hold on, Punch Drunk. Punch Drunk must be one of your buddies. So hold on, Punch Drunk. Mute your mic. We'll mute your mic. Mute your mic. We're gonna get to my girl, Miss Stephanie. Going fishing, and then we'll come back to you, Punch Drunk. I'll be interested to hear what you got to say. Miss Stephanie, how are you doing tonight? And before Miss Stephanie comes up, for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter. Let me get to Miss Stephanie. How you doing, Stephanie?
Hey, what's up? Salute to the chat, salute to the entire chat. I don't know why is it that the focus is always fixated on Black Americans in this country. I mean, it just really gets annoying, and that's why a lot of times I just turn my you know what off, my chat, because it's frustrating. People looking for black help, right? Why don't they ask Nori Martinez's and the cop Kevin Cologne's why there's no more black allyship? You know, the same people that laugh and smile on your face are the same ones that have the decoration behind your back. And that's the crazy part. Number one, if you consider yourself such a Spaniard, why don't you go to Spain and tell them how much of a Spaniard you really are? Let's see what the pushback will be. Because as far as the Spaniards is concerned, they don't even acknowledge you guys. They don't even acknowledge you. They hate your guts. They had a Hispanic guy, I forgot which country he was from. He went out to Spain and they treated him like dirt. They wouldn't even have any conversation with him. They looked down on him. So for you to say that, that's actually comedy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm being totally honest. And for the record, we've been building for decades. Okay? We've built towns with schools, restaurants, all kinds of businesses, hotels, and everything before they get destroyed by the golden apes. That's what I call them, golden apes. Okay? So we've always had things going on. So it's not like we're just at the bottom. We always have been. We've been building up. And as far as the thing is gone, I'm trying to get everything out. As far as us not having the capital gains, we can rebuild the capital gains. We always rebuild capital gains, always. But we always run into policies that strip us of things that we should be getting that gets redirected and goes to other groups besides the American-born blacks here. So to say that y'all come here, y'all build, and y'all work very hard, that's asinine. That's not even funny. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that. And like I said, if you look at the real history, which you're not taking any interest in, and I really don't care, then you would take and understand why there was such a lag and why we're still trying to develop. But don't think that there aren't professional blacks out there. There's a lot of professional people out here making a 6-figure salary. Some of us is making a 5-figure salary. But we're still making money. We're still trying to do the best that we can for our families. Don't let the media blind you with all the negative things that's being done, that's happening in this country, to say, okay, well, look at these blacks, look at this person over here. You know what I'm saying? Now, as for the HR 40, I'm going to be straight up and down. It is nothing but trick language to lull black people to sleep and to go back and blindly vote for these people again for them to keep fighting and pushing for immigration. I'm not falling for it. They keep using the language African and other people of color. They can take and set that thing on fire and burn it all out here because it's null and void. It's null and void. And if black people keep falling for that, then we deserve everything we get. I'm not going to lie. Now, as far as Chichi Rodriguez, John Leguizamo, Chichi Rodriguez was the character he played when he played in 2-1 when he was the drag queen. He's no, in this case it is slow-mo. But yeah, he's grasping at straws. He's at a point where he's so desperate that his word, you can't even take his word at face value. It's really sad, and it's sad the way he's going out. And he really, really, really needs to take a break and have his PR to handle all of his affairs because he's looking like a real idiot. And every time he comes up with a new lie, it gets a lot of pushback with a lot of evidence. So at this point, Chichi needs to fall back and have him a cosmopolitan and close his legs because that's as far as much respect as he's going to get. I mean, he's such a total female dog. And I can't understand why he's even getting this type of press because he don't deserve it. And I can't think of nothing else right now, but that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me give a shout out real quick to the Sexy Red 67 on YouTube for the super sticker. She said, study reparations. Everyone on the team gets a salary here in Cali. It was $100,000 a year. The study is BS pay raise. So shout out to Sexy Red 67. Let me go ahead and get to and Punch D. I know you had your hand up as well too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to you. Looking at it, looks like you have a foreign flag in there. Are you Mexican?
No, I'm white, but I grew up poor, so I didn't really grow up like one of other white folks.
So why do you have a Mexican? What is that? A Mexican flag in your profile?
Palestinian.
Oh, Palestinian. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Honestly, huge shout out to
Stephanie. She really laid it out there. HR 40. I mean, so mostly the bill just looks at discrimination from 1619. First off, the studies are already out there. They've been out for at least a decade if not more. They have a set figure of how much wealth was extracted from Black America from emancipation and now. And I think the figure was to 2014, and then you probably add on a couple billion onto there to meet it in modern day. HR 40 is nothing but Congress's excuse to waste so much time and pretend that they're quote unquote working on it. It's gonna come just like every other major plan Congress has had. You know, they want to do universal health care. We got a subsidy to Big Pharma. You know, they wanted to end the war, but we were still there a decade longer than we needed to. So Stephanie was very right that HR 40 is just a distraction. And in terms of wealth, the wealth from early 20th century to the 60s, due to the Klan as well as the military and other detrimental presidents in the early 20th century, Black wealth actually was lower in 1960 than it was in 1920, surprisingly enough. The military, any attempts to unionize, and even wealth inequality between white America and Black America, there was much more equal. They didn't, Black America didn't, vulturize each other. They didn't cannibalize each other. They're the small bankers, right? I think it was in South Carolina. The banks was essentially, it operated much like a credit union where everyone literally had a share of it. They literally just hired a manager to control it. And so in terms of the inequality, it built everyone, the whole community, higher up. And, the Klan notoriously burned that to ashes and destroyed all the wealth that was there. But in terms of like Black American Hispanics, there's the Rainbow Coalition from the late 60s. It brought in, young patriots, the white working class. It brought in, Black Panthers, Fred Hampton, rest in peace. The Black Vanguard of America. It brought in young Jews, non-Zionist ones that generally just wanted peace and to pray in their temples of worship, and also young Hispanics too. First, second generation immigrants who faced very similar discriminations because many of them were Catholic, and the Klan in the Deep South did not take kindly to Catholics, no matter what skin color you were. So there were attempts to not view, Black American, Hispanic, immigrant. We're all in this together. We all work, eat, sleep, shit, the whole 9 yards here in America. But the topic of immigration is very distracting, and I think it's always a great tool that rich white Wall Street loves to use and pit people against each other. Wealth in 2016 to 2019, Hispanic wealth grew by 60%, and Black households grew by 20%, and the white households only grew by 3%. So there are the successes of always bringing each other up and taking advantage of Pell Grants and Black America's experience of bringing themselves up. It's getting those colleges and whatnot. With many Hispanics, the immigrant experience, 1/3 of all roofing jobs are from immigrants, which are overwhelmingly Hispanic. It's just two different kind of stories, but they're both, you guys are both doing really well. And in this Piranha Fest economy, I think just hammering away at the power that be, if y'all gotta be separatists and say, we're not partaking in Great America, and build your own community. I think that's probably the best instance, pulling your wealth together and working together with that. And, not viewing, another person, because either they're an immigrant or children of immigrants or whatever. We all have the same enemy, and it's the same motherfuckers that.
Hey, watch your language. Watch your language.
Oh, my bad. So that's what I wanted to say. And also, Dr. King's wife, she said the immigrants were going to be a problem, mostly because they had to pull kind of the white liberal vote with them because, they liked the image of Dr. King in the piece, but they didn't really like the political movement behind it. They just liked it because, it's a peace-loving person. And so it's always the awareness of the tribalism in white America historically is main reason why she didn't want to focus on the immigrant aspect of it. That's all I want to say.
Okay, now Punch, you made some points, and some of them I have to, I have to kind of disagree with. You do understand that the racial wealth gap between black and white people is astronomical in this country, right?
Oh yeah, it's like 10 times, yeah.
Okay, and that racial wealth gap really started because of slavery. We understand that to be a point as well, too, right?
Absolutely. I was only talking about that HR 40, like, hooray, yay, at least they know about it, but I think it is.
Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about the HR 40, but I just had a couple points I wanted to say myself now in terms of, the relationship between black and Latinos, Hispanics, whatever you want to say. Black people have always been inviting to everyone that came in this country. They were inviting to Latinos, they were inviting to Asians, they were inviting to the other black immigrants who came over here as well too. So we have to remember that. Now, in terms of the civil rights, the civil rights benefited everybody. It benefited white women more than anybody else, to be honest. It benefited Asians. It benefited Latinos. It benefited the handicapped. It benefited the LGBTQ. But we understand that civil rights, and I always felt that was a mistake by that name in itself, civil rights, because whenever you have something, when somebody's championing something for their group, it's LGBTQ rights. It's not civil rights. When it's women's rights, when you especially white women going out there leading, it's women's rights. It's not civil rights. And I think that was one of the major mistakes in the 60s. Instead of civil rights, it should have been black rights. And because it wasn't black rights, everybody was able to go ahead and get into the actual act when they actually was not the ones it was meant for. Civil rights in this country was meant for black people because black people more than any other group had been marginalized, had been kept out of the American dream. They suffered more than any other group. So it was not right to go ahead and include all these other groups in it. And we see that the government to this day, they still, whenever they're talking about minorities and they're talking about people of color and this and that or whatever, they use black people as a framework, but all of the other benefits and resources actually go to these other people. That's why a lot of black people, and you got a lot of black people that are upset about DEI, but then you have another group of black people that say, hey, you know what? Only 3 to 4% of that was actually going to black people. And I know people say, well, that's 3 to 4% more that wasn't going, but yeah, this stuff was meant for black people. And only black people are actually only the mascot behind this thing as well, too. So that's the issue we have. We're not saying that black people are just going to stay to their own selves and this and that. We do believe that the black dollar needs to stay in the black community longer than what it has been. And we do believe, since segregation ended, a lot of black businesses went underneath and everything else as well, too. So we don't personally have a problem with Asians, Hispanics, or any other group as well, too. But we hear what comes out of their mouths as well too. We understand that most Latinos come from actual slave colonies as well too. So they have a viewpoint about black people as well too in Mexico, Dominican Republic, all of these places, Puerto Rico, all these places, Cuba, were all slave colonies of Spain at one time as well, too. So just as racist as America's been, these places are just as equally racist as well, too. And then when you have people coming from over there that have the actual phenotype to pass for white, and they come over here, a lot of them kind of have that attitude that they, hey, they are white as well, too. And they should be, as close to whiteness as possible. And they understand that one way to get close to whiteness is to go ahead and to kick it to black people. So, the dude, Spanish Dominican, he said something which was real, and I couldn't refute what he was saying. He was saying, well, y'all, you passed it. You guys fought for the 1965 Immigration Act, and you want to get brown people. Well, we weren't trying to get brown people, so to speak. We're trying to get black people, other black people to come over here, but brown people, we didn't protest them coming as well too, and we supported when they did move into our neighborhoods. So our main thing was, hey, other black people around the world, because they were letting white people in left and right and this and that. And we say, hey, you know what? If you're going to let those people in, it only makes sense to let other people that look like us, other black people, other melanated people in as well, too. And then not only that, let everybody in. You're going to let this group in, go ahead and let the Asians in, go ahead and let this in or whatever, because black people like Frederick Douglass was fighting for rights for the Asians back in the 1800s. When nobody else is, because all this stuff people talk about, you got this black on Asian violence and this and that or whatever. A lot of these Asian people sitting up here lying when they know the vast majority, if you go by FBI stats, the vast majority of hate crimes committed against Asians are committed by white people against Asians. But because they want to be close to whiteness, they will sit up here and lie, and they will go ahead and regurgitate all these lies and stuff like that because they know a certain demographic of people love to hear that kind of stuff. So that's our issue with it. By a lot of these immigrants coming into this country, they have never supported Black Americans. Now, they love Black American culture. They love to see you get up there and dance and rap and sing and dribble a basketball and tackle somebody and float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, all that kind of stuff like that. They love that. They love the fashion. They love the attitude. They love that, hey, these people, no matter how many times they've been knocked down, they find a way to get up the resiliency that they possess. But at the same time, a lot of them are envious of that same culture that Black people have in this country. So that's our thing. That's how we're feeling about it right now. Like, hey, that's why a lot of us ain't heartbroken, man, to be honest, when we see some of these people get deported here. We're not the least bit heartbroken because we fought for these people. When white people only wanted other white people to come over here. And if we want to be honest, early on, the Italians and a lot of them, they didn't even want their own people coming over here because they felt that they was going to eat from their plate. We fought for it. We fought for Haitians to come over here. We fought against apartheid. We fought, for all of this kind of stuff that we get blowbacks for. We fought for it. We supported people, this and that or whatever. We support their businesses. We're some of the biggest consumers of these other groups, businesses, and everything else as well too. So it's not reciprocated, and the government has given these people grants and loans and everything else, and position them and put them in power and place them in Black neighborhoods so they could go ahead and occupy and buy businesses and buy space up and buy real estate and everything else like that as well too. So they've been helped out by the U.S. government who claims that, hey, you know what, we don't pick any winners and losers, and we know that's a damn lie. The United States government has picked winners and losers from the time this country was founded. They have always picked winners and losers. Hell, they picked Elon Musk, bringing him over here, a South African who has major contempt for Black people, sitting up here talking about putting sanctions on South Africa, sitting up here lying, talking about how they're taking all the land from white people and this and that or whatever. So, yeah, we have a little bit of issue because we historically noticed we're a little different in our parents' groups. Our parents, I got a parent alive that's a baby boomer, and they're a little bit different than their kids. We appreciate everything that they did or whatever, but they kind of left the door open on some things that should have been closed shut. In the 60s, Black people should have had a selfishness about themselves. When they had the actual attention of the entire world, they should have said, you know what, listen, we understand that you want to do something for handicaps and you want to do something for LGBTQ, and we know you want to do something for white women because we know by you putting white women in there, that money's actually coming back to you, daddy. But this is what we gonna do. Since we got your attention and since we got y'all at a standstill, because some of these brothers out here protesting peacefully while the others over here just straight crashing people, you know what in. y'all are going to go ahead and you're going to sign this civil rights movement for us and us alone. And if you want to sign something for another group, you're going to keep our names out of it. This is for black rights. This is for slavery. This is for Jim Crow, segregation, redlining. This is for mass incarceration. This is for all this stuff in the 60s that they should have went ahead and said that we're going to do this for, and not anybody else. It was about us, because when it's time to do something, when the politicians come and speak to the Latino community, they never mention, you know what, we're going to add the black people in this and that. The black and brown coalition only comes up when they're talking to black people. Whenever they speaking to a Latino crowd, they don't never talk about no black and brown coalition. And when they talking to the LGBTQ, they never say, you know what, we can't just do something for the LGBTQ. We got to do something for straight people as well, too. Never say this kind of stuff. It's only reserved for us. So, yeah, we're feeling a little bit different about how some of this stuff is going around. I understand what you're saying, but the wealth gap between black and white is too huge or whatever. Take nothing away from Latinos. Like you said, we see the construction gigs and everything, jobs that used to go to black people as well, too. They got a lot of these jobs as well, too. Now, we got the sentiment that people want to say, well, you know, black men don't want to get out there and do that kind of work. No, black men don't want to be like their grandfathers and their great-grandfathers getting sharecropper wages out there, breaking their back and leading to an early death, working themselves to death for peanuts when they've already done that 4-5 times. And since this country's been founded. No, if a black man goes out there and works hard, he wants to be compensated the same way white men have always been compensated for working hard. Because at one time in this country, you didn't have to have the most education. It was always, if you work hard and you keep your nose clean, you can make it in America. But see, that is an oxymoron in itself too, because black people, it goes against everything when they talk about black people, because black people, who worked harder than them? Who worked harder than these people right here that was damn slaves and sharecroppers? So they had to go ahead and reinvent that story right there. You had to go ahead and say, well, you know, it's something with these people. It's a reason why they can't get ahead and this and that or whatever. So, no, I mean, not being disrespectful to you, but I have to disagree with that totally 100%. And the way things are right now, black people need to look out for black people first and foremost. Can you kind of understand what I'm saying, that Punch D?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. So like the tendency of like more like I don't want to say like black nationalists, but like more of like self-preservation.
Yeah, it's self-preservation. Think about it. When you had the Homestead Act and all these white people came over here from Europe and everything else, and they gave them all kind of acres of land and everything else like that for free, nobody said anything about it. Same when you had the GI Bill, nobody said anything about it. Now, there's black people, including myself, in this space right now whose family own land and got an eminent domain and got crapped on by local governments and state governments and everything else, property, millions of acres stolen. Just completely stolen from black people. So it's all about self-preservation. Every group has to preserve themselves, and we've been a little bit too welcoming to everybody else like that, you know. And that's kind of black people's fault globally. You kind of welcome in sometimes harm without, you know. You gotta look after your own. If you don't look after yourself, who will look after you? So I'm not gonna hold it because I know we got a number of hands up. I believe Ray was next. He fell down. So let me get to Ray. We got Byro D, Spanish. I'm gonna get back to you as well. I got my girl Trouble, but Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic. What's up tonight? And real quick, let me give a shout out to my girl Stephanie too for her contribution on Cash App before I forget. But go ahead, Ray. What's up?
So what's going on, news? I gotta say, brother, it's real hard to have to come behind you, man. You be driving so much heat. Well, I'll go ahead and just stay to the topic of the space. Let me start here with the crib walk. So, from what I heard, from what I've read, it was created by a man named Robert Jackson, but he went by the name of Sugar Bear out in LA back in the 1970s. So, this brother is the one that is actually credited with creating it and not Latino. So, I'll start there. 1965, as far as the Immigration Act of 1965 goes. Oops, I just lost my whole train of thought. Give me a second, y'all. But in 1965, basically,
the 14th Amendment was ratified to allow people to come over here, basically. So I'm trying to find it. Give me 2 seconds. I just lost. So the 14th Amendment obviously was intended to help former slaves and their descendants. It had nothing to do with immigration. But the Immigration Act of 1965, it actually established something called family reunification, and that is what allowed the immigrants to enter the U.S. So if we eliminate that family reunification clause, that would obviously solve the problem. And let me see, John Leguizamo lies. Again, we're not even going to touch on that. We know that's a lie. And I agree with Newstoter 100%. Black people need to be looking out for ourselves at this time. When LULAC was started, it was a civil rights organization that was specifically for Mexicans. They weren't including us at all. And the only time I hear about this black and brown coalition is when it benefits the brown. But again, when it's some money that comes directly to them, we don't hear anything about a black and brown coalition. It's a very one-sided thing. And at this time, again, we just need to look out for ourselves. And I'm going to drop down news. A great space, brother. I appreciate the time.
All right. Appreciate you coming up here, Ray. Let me go ahead and get to Viral. Viral, what's going on tonight?
What's up, Newstoter? Thanks for letting me up to speak. Shout out to the space. I want to rebuttal what Dr. Punch, what is his name? Punch something, Punch D. He kept referring to the Ku Klux Klan as the boogeyman doing all of that. But over here, we all know good and well that the government and the state were involved in that also. Government and state sponsored terrorism that really did the sin. You talk about the numbers in the 1920s, how much wealth we had. And that was around the time of the Red Summer where they was burning down towns left and right. You speak on the bank, and well, there's several books about what happened to the Freedmen's Bank, and that wasn't just Ku Klux Klan. We all know that this racism is just as prevalent in the North as it is in the South. It's just the South is a little more overt with it. But don't be fooled that the racism is all across this country. HR 40, the grassroots, we all know what that is. They come in back in that old playbook, grabbing that trick bag and saying, here you go, HR 40 again. And we all know what it is. It's just a study that they haven't even passed through. And basically, I think that the Democrats are pushing that again right now because they kind of in desperate mode, and they trying to keep those that's still on the plantation, however many that may be, because their numbers for that party are dwindling fast. They got to do something. It's an exciting time to be living right now as far as politics go. We're seeing so much stuff that's going on now. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Byron, you still there or are you done? You there, Viral, or you gone? All right. I think Viral might, I'm not sure if he's finished or not, but let me go ahead and get to trouble.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on what the Dominican Spanish person said as far as going back to the 1965 and how we're having buyer's remorse. You need to thank a black person, a black American person from lineage the next time you see them, because that's what you all don't do. While you have so much to say about us, while you're constantly vexing us, you need to thank us. You need to thank us for, that bill, which allowed you to come over here and share your anti-black views. And also, when you mention how hard you all work, first of all, you keep saying we. You are first generation immigrant. Who is this we that you speak of? We what? What did we do? We didn't do a damn thing. This is you. You are first immigrant.
We lost Trouble. Trouble, you there?
Trouble, you there? Oh, we must have lost.
Yeah, I had a phone call coming in. There's no such thing as we when you're a first generation immigrant. We didn't build cities. nothing. I told her. So when anything that you all came here, because you kind of contradicted yourself. You said that your parents came over here and were wealthy. So if you were wealthy, then you were already able to set up businesses. So you keep including yourself in the we, trying to say that we, as in black folks, are jealous of you. Let me tell you something. When y'all come over here, you're not allowed to really set up businesses in the white folks area. You set your businesses up in black folks area. And guess who makes it possible for you all to thrive and survive? We do. We do. We do. You don't eat unless we feed you. We feed you by supporting your businesses. So again, when you see the next black person, say, thank you, Negro. Thank you very much, because we make it possible for you to survive here on this continent. Otherwise, you've gone back across the border to Colombia, or wherever you're from, the Dominican, you can go back over there. You can take your first generation behind, back over there. Also, the other thing I wanted to say earlier, when you first did it, but everybody else came and started speaking, and I couldn't say it to you, you have a colonizer mindset view. This is Newstoter space. This is not Spanish Dominican space. So number one, don't cut off the host when he's talking. And number two, you do not get to tell Punch or anybody else that they can speak until the host says that they can speak. So stay in your lane. Stay all the way in your lane. Okay? Y'all love coming out your name, and that's the mindset of you colonizers. That's just the colonizer mindset. But thank you for showing us who you are. Alan.
You was on point, definitely there. Trouble, you're definitely on point. Spanish, Dominican, go ahead and unmute your mic.
You know, I just feel like you guys are just trying to mimic what the white nationalists are trying to do. You know, they're trying to lay claim to a continent that was obviously colonized by other people. So no one here is native to the land unless you are a Native American. Same thing with Latin America as well. You know, nobody there is native unless they are Native American to the land.
Black people are native to the entire world. We were the first people on here, and we populated every landmass on this planet. So in that
case, then the Europeans are black too. Then they're Africans too. Right?
Well, Europeans, there were no Europeans at one time, and the first Europeans were black. So I mean, I don't know if you understand that or not.
I guess the Europeans are also native to this land too as well.
Well, they're not. How would Europeans be native when black people were on this planet thousands of years before a European was ever in sight?
Well, it's just another step, though, you know.
No, but it's not. No, it's not another. No, it's not another step. Black people were here first and foremost, and then everybody else came afterwards. So I mean, I don't understand. It seems like you have a problem with that.
Slow the salsa down. You ain't starting right. You know what I mean? Indian means Negro and vice versa. Look it up. So when you say who the Native Americans, who are you talking about? Well, who the Native Americans, bro? Because I don't understand that.
The Native Americans came from Siberia. They crossed the Bering Strait across from Siberia to Alaska to the Americas.
So why did Columbus say he saw copper-colored Negro-looking Africans over here when he landed?
So because he was confused. He had a limited sense of the world.
If he confused, I'm going with the Columbus, what he said. You know what I'm saying? And considering that your people, the Spaniards, gave the natives, meaning my people, smallpox blankets, we don't know who we are. So when you say, hey, the Native Americans, I think you ought to tread lightly who you speaking on.
Let me just continue what I was
saying. Let him finish real quick, DJ. Let him finish. We're gonna let him finish. I want to hear what he got to say. Yeah, let him finish. I want to hear what he got to say. Go ahead.
Real quick, so let me just finish. I just think that you guys are just trying to copy what the white nationalists are trying to do, you know, but with a different sense of narrative. You know, you guys are trying to promote black nationalism.
I think you're just upset because black people are no longer supporting all of these policies and stuff before they have had no positive impact on them. So you're upset about that. That's what I think that you're upset about because wait. You got the nerve to talk about we're copying white nationalists, And it was about 20 minutes ago, you sitting up here talking about how immigrants come here and outwork black people and this and that or whatever and do all this other stuff. And then when I told you, I said, well, let's compare accomplishments between just your group of people and my group of people and see who comes out on top. So you sat up here talking about using a white nationalist talking point that white nationalists say that, hey, you know, these black Americans are lazy. That's why we got to import these immigrants and y'all work so much harder than them and this and that or whatever. So it seems to me that you're getting a little taste of your own medicine, because 1 minute you're sitting up here saying that your group works harder than us, even though, like Trouble said, you say you're first generation and you're rich, you're first generation rich Dominican Republic, from the Dominican Republic. Now you're sitting up here saying, well, you know, you black people are just trying to be like these white nationalists and you're trying to be racist and mean to us and this and that or whatever. When, like I said, historically, the facts are the facts that the rights, the little bit of rights that you got in this country came from the struggle of black people. It didn't come from the struggle of poor whites. It didn't come from the struggle of poor Latinos. It didn't come from the struggle of Hispanics or any other group. It came from black people. And you had the nerve to fix your mouth up here and say that you guys work harder, we was jealous and this and that or whatever. So now you're trying to go ahead and you're trying to reverse it and put it on us.
No, sir, I'm not gonna be in the space if you want me to kiss your butt. I'm not gonna kiss your butt.
I didn't tell you to bring your ass up in this space from the beginning. I didn't tell you to come up in this space from the beginning. One thing we're not gonna do is bow down to you. Now that's y'all might treat the black people over there in Dominican Republic like that, but you over in America, Jack, and we don't kiss white tail, Hispanic tail, and nobody else tail over here as well too. So if you got a problem with the way the space is run, you can hop your happy ass up out of here anytime you like. And I'll do you one better. What the old folks used to say, don't let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. So raise up. Let me go ahead and get to my girl, Jess Cakes.
Tell us, don't tell it. Hey, look, I just want to say, family, I have sat back and enjoyed everything y'all have said as y'all have gone in on the tethers here and these Latinos. Now, with this guy here, Spanish Punch or whatever their names are, whoever, Spanish dude, let's just keep it real, man. You and your people.
He fled the space. He fled the space.
Oh, he fled? Okay, well, good. Because that's what he's going to be doing with the black American Haitian anyway. He's going to be fleeing. Because they're going to get his ass. And he's going to be out of here. And you notice he came up in here bragging like he can't be touched. Because that's the way he sounded anyway. Like it don't matter to me if they deport me. Well, if it doesn't matter to you, then why are you over here anyway? So I said that
when I asked him where you at in New Jersey, he never answered me.
Exactly. Because Black American Unit, we got to know where you at. We want to know where you at. So we got
you at Patterson, you ain't.
We call the action over there for you. If we get them over there to you, get them over there. Hey, look, I'm telling y'all, right now, they all up in the videos right now, picking up these folks. And Tom Herman reached out to the mayor, Eric Adams, right there in New York, and said, hey, we want y'all to work with us so we can get these people out of the country. Guess what? Eric Adams said, yeah. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Get these folks out of here. Get them up out of here. All these mayors that have been fighting against it, you can't fight against it. You got to let it go down. And folks like that, Ross Baraka, him, that Brandon Johnson guy over in Chicago.
Ed Green in East Orange, New Jersey, was sucker. You know what I'm saying?
Over in LA, hey, y'all need to stop trying to fight against this, because now what they're gonna do to you, if you don't start getting on board with this, they're gonna have Pam Bundy, as I told y'all yesterday in the space yesterday. They're gonna have Pam Bundy start charging these folks with violating the immigration laws. I keep trying to tell y'all, the federal government, when they want to, they can take over these so-called state officials that don't want to follow the law. And, that's something that we have debated about. Can the feds make these folks do something? Yes, they can. It's called, if they enforce the law, they can put them under arrest. They can charge them. I hope people can understand that. The feds can do that. It's just when they want to do that. Do they want to do that? And I'm gonna land right there.
Professor, you know what kills me is that anytime Black folks try to advocate for ourselves or make it known that we're trying to do for ourselves, do for our own people, we're called certain names like Black nationalist, or we're compared to white supremacist or white nationalism. But they take care of their own people all of the time. They look out only for their own groups of people. Every people group that come here, immigrants that come here, even the white folks, look out for their own people. But when Black Americans assert to be able to do the same exact things, then you all are Black nationalists. You all are, you're taking a page out of the white supremacist handbook. Well, you all did, and you all seem to be thriving doing it. So why come we shouldn't be able to do the same thing? It's that fake Fugazi just BS that really just kind of chaps my hide there, buddy. As they would say. It really just kind of pisses me off.
True, you so silly. Hey, look, I love that accent. That was not.
Let me Just Cakes is falling down, so I'm gonna come back to her when she gets a chance to come back up here. Let me get to Ash. She was up in the space yesterday. She's over there in Africa. Ash, what's going on with you? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm in Africa. I'm good. How are you guys?
You said, you're in the UK, right? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You are African, but you're in the UK. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good.
Okay. I just wanted to I know I'm an outsider, so I'm just touching on one thing. As I was listening to the space, someone spoke about who's indigenous to America, right? And then they spoke about the indigenous people coming from the Siberian strait into the Americas, right? But there's also another migration that isn't really spoken about, and I think that's done on purpose, right? It's like, and West Africa, there is a current that goes from West Africa to the Americas, and there had been trade going on there for centuries. And I just looked up Abu Bakr II, who was the king of the Mali Empire. He set a float with 2,000 folks to the Americas in 1311. So that was 200 years before Columbus ever went to the Americas, and that's the one that I found on the BBC website. So they're telling us about that, and that's something that West African scholars have they're the ones who kind of brought that to light. But that's what we know now. We don't know how far back there have been people from Africa going to the Americas and trading there. So that and we don't know how many had settled there way before Europeans ever got to the Americas. So that is also something that I feel like I need to highlight to add to the discussion. The guys already left, so that's all I want to add.
Yes, ma'am. And to even add on to that point that you're saying, people forget that you've had humans migrating from Africa for over 100,000 years. when there were no all these other races around and stuff, people have been migrating from Africa for well over 100,000 years on this planet. So yeah, even and I know the story that you're talking about with the Mali Kingdom and them sending all those hundreds of fleets and stuff over here, but even thousands of years even before they went, there were people leaving the continent of Africa and populating the entire world. So people, in one aspect, they want to sit here and say, yeah, you know what, people have been migrating and this and that or whatever. And then that other aspect, they want to black people just stayed in one place and they didn't leave in that. So which is it? Did they migrate? Did they move all over the world, or did they just stay in one particular location? So shout out to you.
And also it's something that I'm also kind of realizing, just hearing certain spaces, mostly by Europeans. It's by listening to I used to listen at times into the white nationalist spaces just because I was curious. They have European history has taught them that the Africans don't know anything, and and they separate North Africa from and the rest of Africa. So in their minds, it's like, well, they didn't have any ships. They couldn't sail around. They couldn't discover things. They couldn't go to other continents. And it's like to them, it's like no way could they sail to the Americas. And it's like, no, they've been sailing, and even like during the Roman times in East Africa, you had people from East Africa sailing to Sri Lanka to buy spices to sell to the Romans and the ancient Greeks. Right? So the European has done a good job at hiding that type of history. And I just thought that was like a point that I wanted to kind of address to the guy. I just feel like he doesn't really understand that aspect. So I just wanted to explain that to him.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to my girl, Stephanie. Stephanie, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, thank you. I wanted to get at him so bad because he contradicted himself. Number one, you're sitting up here calling us black nationalists and that we align ourselves with the white supremacists. But indeed,
I tagged him in the chat a bunch of times. If you want to comment on the system, knock yourself out.
Okay. But meanwhile, in the Dominican Republic, they have the Ku Klux Klan over there. Okay? The same ideology, terrorizing the Haitians, terrorizing the darker skinned Dominicans over there. They have a certain area over there where they do not want any darker colored Dominicans over there. So who's aligning with white supremacy? I don't get it. You got the Ku Klux Klan over there. So in Espanol. So I don't get what point he was trying to make. He just wanted to make himself sound smart. And he made himself look worse. But, it is what it is. And he ran out of here, so we're still. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And like I say, when I told him to go ahead and put up a shut up and all the stuff that his people did and accomplished, he couldn't. And then when he started talking about being the white nationalist, he forgot that he was sitting up here talking about how we was jealous and this and that, basically, and how they come over here and outwork us and all this other kind of stuff. So you're saying we're sitting up here talking about white nationalist talking points, and you sitting up here talking about white nationalist talking points about how successful your people are and how basically how much better they're doing than us over here. So I'm like, yeah, well, go ahead and post that proof. Show us all this stuff. It's time that black people start doing that. When people start sitting up here talking about how they've accomplished this and that in America, we'll say, well, go ahead and list all your accomplishments that you guys had. Let us know. Go ahead and put your accomplishments up against our accomplishments, and let's see who rises to the top right here. After a while,
putting their accomplishments up. What accomplishments did you make without the help of Black Americans? Because that part is very important too. Because a lot of things was not accomplished without our help. When they talking about their businesses and how their businesses flourish, how did your business flourish? Who supported your business? Who funded your business? Because that is important. And then let's see. Tell the truth about all that USA that y'all was getting. That blue, you about to not get. Sorry, Toter.
No, you're right. You're right. They were funded by two groups, by the U.S. government and by black people. By the U.S. government gave them grants and interest-free loans and everything else to put them in business, and they put them in the black neighborhood, and black people funded the second part of it. So yeah, they were funded by two different people. The government, who always finds a way where they can't give you and I money to start a business or the type of funding that we really need to be successful, come up with all kinds of excuses. And these people are just coming over here, and you can empty your pockets out and give it to them. And they put you in a neighborhood with us, so you can go ahead and you could pop it off. So yeah, I mean, definitely. JW, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace be one family. I just want to can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I just wanted to make a mention to what that guy was saying. I'm actually in New Jersey, Middlesex County. And it's, these people they basically enjoy our money, whether it be the black sisters going to the doobies, getting the Dominican money, the bodega.
Oh.
Hey, JW.
Yeah, you cutting out, JW. Can you hear us? Hey, JW, can you hear us? May have to.
Ash, your mic kind of janky too, Ash. When you talk, you sound like a robot. I don't know if you know that or anyone else heard that, but
I may have to JW. Let me drop JW down, I guess, and I guess bring him back up because we can't hear you at all, JW. Yeah, if you get a chance, come back up. We're not gonna keep the space going too much longer. Anyways, get a couple more speakers in here, and then I'm gonna be shutting it down for the.
Let me get in there real quick, Primo. Know what I'm saying? I got the enchilada.
I see Rella up here. Rella, did you want to speak? Or are you good?
No, Black Mommy. I was here first, Mommy. You know what I'm saying?
I guess Rella says she's chilling for.
No, sorry, I was making my bed.
Okay. What's up, Rella?
Hey.
You lazy? You ain't make your bed all day, sister.
I didn't. I was being lazy. Because I remember I told you I was washing last night.
Whatever.
Shout out to y'all. What's up, Chris?
It's rough in the gut.
Yes. Hey, Sis in the building. Yay. Hey, Ray. Hi. I want to say your real name, but I'm trying to. I figure you changed your profile for a reason. Gone fishing.
What's up, Sister Rella? How you doing tonight?
Hey, brother. How you doing? Thank you. I miss y'all. God is good. They was trying it in the other space, and I held it down because we'll talk about that later. DJ open up another space, but I'll say this. Okay, you'll be on social tonight. Shout out to was that Cash or Kish? I think that was her name.
You talking about Ash?
Ash. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Shout out to Ash. I was in a space with her and some other people, and we were talking about kind of like local stuff. And that she's smart. That's a smart woman right there. I want to say, at the end of the day, you have a lot of detractors. And me, Ash, and I, when we were in that space, and other people, we realized that that's what's happening. There's a lot of misinformation and education that goes on all around the world. And so when you think about what's happening here in America, it's just like 10 times worse because other people are trying to reclaim even their own history because they've been colonized, and the children of those who have colonized those places are like that guy that was in here. The whatever his name was, and he has, if you notice, I don't know if anybody has done any research on that soldier he always has in his profile. Those were colonizers. And so when you look at their children and how they act and the way that they are running around and even keeping up the conversation of, well, we black nationalists, but somehow we're somewhat like the white nationalism. No, white nationalism is in the police department and then committing terrorist acts on a community just yesterday. Okay? Standing on a bridge in the United States, holding up a treasonous flag that's from some other country or nation that they have allegiance to while these people are in our police department. We don't behave that way. We never have. Anything and everything that Black Americans have done in regards to humanitarianism and how we protect and build up other nations, even so much so, there's a selfishness that we have done to ourselves. So this generation, the generation before me, has been trying to correct those things, even at the same time trying to will love, grace, peace, and people still don't want that. They still don't want that. And they will watch as we are genocided out and sit back and behind as long as they get the spoils of this country and tell us that the spoils of this country don't belong to us. That's that guy that was here. That's John Leguizamo. Juan Crow. Really? Juan Crow? Well, wouldn't Juan Crow have to actually been a representative in this country Are you talking about Spaniards, Portugal? Who are you talking about? Because Juan was no longer in charge. They went to war with Spain. They went to war with France. The British crown is still in play. I don't know what people really think is happening, but the people who I think believe that all they have to do is keep knocking us off our square when it comes to this historical record and the things that we are seeing today. Shout out to you, Newstoter. And I can't wait till you do that space on Elon. While Doge is supposedly exposing all this spending, wasteful spending, he petitioning for $400 million. Americans have gotten no repair. Black Americans' petitions have gone unanswered. And at the same time, and we're talking about Black Americans' petitions, and still, folks are still like, they don't care about that. They're worried about themselves. They're worried about how they can secure their autonomy. While the head wigger in charge is sitting up here telling my son, well, all we need is SpaceX and give us some money and bring over these South Africans because you know our numbers is dwindling over here. I won't make it on my own if I'm outnumbered. Even he realizes in order for you to take control and power, you need a majority. And if you got enough dumb white Americans, they'll do just that. Give the country away. When I tell you this is going to be the biggest heist in America's history and we just have to survive it, that's what I mean. H.R. 40, and I've said this before, it's a bill that is already there. God uses babies and fools. God also will use the enemy's tricks to try to stumble for us, for our good. We have to be smart and strategic. I was in Nat's room and they were going over the bill, reading the bill, and they did do some edits and changes, but I'll say this, there is caution for everything. And you have to have your eyes wide open moving forward. We need to get us some power, and we need us to get us some power players and maybe some guns. And then that's all I got for now. Love you, Newstoter. You too, DJ and Professor.
Thank you, Miss Rella. We love you. We love you too. So thank you for coming on. It's been a little minute. Been a little minute since Rella spoke, but I'm glad to hear from you, Rella.
Hey, me and DJ gonna lock you out in this space, man.
Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it, sister. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
You gonna miss me when I'm gone, Professor.
Hey, Professor, she gonna lock you out. She an administrator.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the trouble, and then I'm gonna let Professor and DJ let y'all get a last word in, and we gonna shut it down for the night.
Rella, I resent the fact that you didn't tell me that you love me too. I mean, I think that's straight shady. Anyhow.
Me neither.
Okay. We ain't getting no love.
Get part 2 on social. Y'all better get your accounts over this stuff.
But what Rella said, 100%. And she said that it's about to be the biggest heist we've ever seen, and that's true. And then she said that all we have to do is survive it. But I'm going to add to that. We're going to have to do more than just survive it this time, because we've always survived it. This time, we have to carve out a piece of it for ourselves. We can't just keep surviving these atrocities that's brought and laying in our lap while these white supremacists take over everything, take over the country, and because they recognize that they're about to be out of power if they don't get their numbers up. We have to have the same mindset as well. So it's bigger than us just surviving it this time. We've got to carve out a piece of the pie for ourselves. And I just wanted to add that on.
Oh, I gotta add this part too, guys. We do need your support too. So for those that can support us on Cash App, we definitely need it. We definitely need that support to try to grow the platform. $ Newstoter, $ Newstoter. You got the PayPal and Venmo up in the Jumbotron as well too. Even if it's $1, we need that support, guys. Help continue to grow the platform as well too. So I had to add that part in there as well. Professor and DJ. Oh, I see Stephanie coming up. I don't know if she want to say something real quick because we're gonna shut it down in a minute. Shout out, I see Twizzle and I see my girl Val down there too. So shout out to them as well too. Miss Shannon, I see you down there too, sweetie. Aunt La, I see you guys down there. Everybody coming in a little bit late, but it is what it is, guys. I'm glad that y'all up in here. Stephanie, did you want to say something real quick? I see you came back up, or you good?
I was going to say something, but I completely lost my train of thought, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, next space, come back and we'll get you. Professor DJ, y'all want to say something real quick before I shut this down? Are y'all there?
Hopefully y'all can hear me. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, get your social account. We over there. That's about it. Be there, be square, because I ain't gonna be over here no more. It's over with. I'm super duper shadow banned. I'm the most shadow banned knocker ever in the history of knockers getting shadow banned on any platform. I own the title. Nobody can mess with me. I'm the baddest member jammer ever. You know. Now we got our own network funded social. Shout out to the Black State man. Newstoter, the leader of the news over there. So if y'all want to get this knocking news, come on over there. Yay.
All right. Professor, I know you want to get
one thing that was just my bad. Hold up a minute. My bad. Back to Poppy over here, you know what I'm saying? AKA whatever his name was, you know what I'm saying? Dominicano. I never met a cool Dominican ever, but at least I respect you for telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because while everyone was kung fu fighting in the 60s and 70s, the Dominicans, yo, they was quiet, beat. You know what I'm saying? They was under the table just getting their money, you know what I'm saying? They didn't say nothing to nobody because they was colonizers anyway. See that? And the way y'all treat the Haitian homies, nah, bro, you know, black, you can't come here. Y'all got to get deported. So that's why I want to know where you at in New Jersey so I could call Tom home and homies, you know what I'm saying? And say he over here in Camden somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, hating on the Negroes. This is why you're right. Trouble can't support these people, man. Stop going to get the doobie wraps and get the haircuts. And look, what's up with their haircuts, yo? Hey, fellas, I swear to God, don't go to no Dominican barbershop. My little cousin came.
I thought they could cut real good. I heard.
Nah, go to a Black American, son. Trust me on this show. Don't go to no Dominican. See it, and look, they love representing. And look, I don't understand how they took over all the barbershops around here. In New Jersey, it's crazy. It's like it happened overnight, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, yo.
Story.
Yeah. So basically, making a long story short, my little cousin came downstairs one day, and I looked at his head. I said, "Yo, where you get your hair cut at?" He said, "My mother took me to this place." I said, "Was it like a Dominican type place?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's why your hairline pushed back." He was like, "Stop playing, cuz." Go look in the mirror, and I'm sitting down. He's standing up above me, and I said, "Well, let me stand up. Maybe my eyesight tripping. You know, I wear glasses." No. Waved his head down a little bit. Yeah, you might want to tell your mother never go back there again. You know what I'm saying? These jokers don't know how to cut because you can tell just by looking at their head. They wear the military type haircuts like they're ready for war. Not even to be funny, but that's telling. See what I'm saying? So is you ready for war? You know what I'm saying? Get prepared. Black Americans is gonna go down. We're gonna have to have that type of issue. Look what these Mexicans down there doing in Texas, blocking the road and all this other stuff. Palestinians out here everywhere going crazy. That ain't our fault. You in our neighborhood because the U.S. government bombing the hell out of y'all. That ain't got nothing to do with us. We fought these people straight up. So go do what y'all got to do. Just leave us out of it. You know, let us know so we can stay home. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. You know what I mean? Because all the folks that was doing the 9/11 mastermind plot, they was living right in the hood, right here in Maplewood, New Jersey. The Sheikh mastermind on 9/11 lived in Maplewood, New Jersey, right on Boynton Avenue. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? You can walk around the corner. It's on like a main avenue stretch. Look it up, yo. Real talk. And the CIA and the FBI and all these other boys got them up out of the country, the Bin Ladens. Flowing right up on out of here, Bush. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, everything PSYOP gang until otherwise noted. Stay safe out there. And, yeah, don't. I never met a cool Dominican, yo. You know what I'm saying? And he was definitely lying about the bodegas. All the bodegas on what we call a bodega now, but they used to be Polish. See, this is why you know he lying. And even before that, it's probably some Italians or some Germans had the bodegas. Because a lot of these bodegas, it's not like the building changed. Only the people did. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you stupid, Poppy. You got to get deported. Call Trump. You know what I'm saying? Call Tom Homan, Professor. Get him on the phone, B.
All right. Let me give a shout out also to Sexy Red 67 for the super chat. She says, keep the peace over there. I see you say, sorry, I don't have PayPal. I don't have PayPal, can't join the platform. That's okay, Sexy Red. I appreciate it anyways, but thank you very much. Professor, you want to say something? Let me get Rella real quick. Rella, I'm going to give you a minute or two, and then we're going to get the Professor. I'm going to close this out.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds.
See, taking it back. This, Trouble, you already know what it is. I love you so much. You know that.
No, I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
Oh, my God. I got to confess it to you. I love you, girl. Shout out to the Only Male Cruise, all the sisters in the sisterhood. You know, I hope y'all working that thing out, all the brothers, you know, who is about that life and truly working to actually get us some state power and working on trying to move us forward. I see y'all. Professor, you ain't shit, but, you know, we got to love you anyway. And sorry, Newstoter, for cussing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on YouTube. We love y'all. Thanks for the support on YouTube.
All right.
Get that cash out. Oh, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Make sure y'all hit Newstoter for Valentine's Day.
Also, don't forget to download the Mighty Networks from your Apple Store app or your Google app. But you get into the Mighty Networks app, go to Funded Socially so that you can join us in the spaces over there.
All right.
Yeah, that was going to be my word right there, Toto, is come and join us over on social. Yes.
All righty. I appreciate that. So let me go ahead and I guess on that note, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll get ready to close it out for the night. Just Case, I see you came up here. Did you want to say something real quick before we close it out?
Yeah, I just wanted to say just a few things that don't stay long. But what's his name? That Dominican guy was full of stuff. Because just like you said, he outworking us and everything else, but he came from a wealthy family. Make it make sense. And why he's so sure of himself is because he's a truck driver. He's a regular truck driver working a regular 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. You want to make yourself seem like more than what you is. I didn't realize to what extent Dominicans was delusional. You hear about it all the time about how they identify with white, but it's a whole other thing to interact with it. The other thing, as far as John Leguizamo, whatever his last name is, Luigi. He's trolling. Like when he say wine quote, all that's trolling behavior. He doing stuff to get a reaction. I work with people like him. I've dealt with people like him. That all he doing is trolling. And the last thing I'm gonna say is I had a neighbor when I lived in a really nice neighborhood. I had a neighbor, Hispanic neighbor, who moved downstairs. And one of the times we had, a brief conversation, she said the quiet part out loud. This is way before all this stuff was going on. They always felt the way they felt about us. They always felt like they was entitled to America. For whatever reason, they always felt like that. They always felt like everybody else, white, black, or whatever, was just guests. So they play cool. So even when they playing cool, they really not cool. And I just landed there. It's such a good vibe when we all get together. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And thank you. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Let me get it in. But thank you, Jess Cakes, for coming on up here as well. Thank all of you guys for coming up here. Y'all have a safe and happy Valentine's Day. I don't know if y'all are going out to eat or do anything with your significant other or whatever. If you ain't got one, that's you said what? What? I didn't hear that part. It sounds something crazy, but yeah, let me go ahead and end this space here for the night. So everybody, y'all have a safe weekend. We will see you guys next week. Peace. And check out the space that DJ and Professor and I'm going to do on Funded Socially. Y'all make sure y'all go over there as well too, guys. Peace. Yes, and we will see you guys. Good night. Shout out to everybody on YouTube as well. We will see you guys. Peace.